Here we're ready to get underway in the second half of the championship game between the Hunslet Hawks and Halifax. It's Hunslet to get us underway, and Halifax with a slender lead, and not a lot of people thought that'd be the situation here. Halifax on the back of their convincing victory against Lee last week. The previously unbeaten Lee were thought too strong for this Hunslet side, but there's been a real grit about the Hunslet performance. But can they stay the pace with Halifax? That's the question in this second half, and maybe Halifax will be under instructions to really turn that pressure up in the second half. It's a good kick, it's a good chase, it's an opportunity to go down the sidelines and hear from Rod Studd.
Well, Matt Calland and Brian Noble and the rest of the coaching staff have been talking a bit about last weekend's win at Lee and saying we need to stick to the standards we set there. They feel they've dropped off those standards a little bit in the first half. A lot of talk about increasing their go forward, a big push, supporting the man with the ball, looking to push through the gaps, that kind of thing. And they're continuing to play musical shirts as well, because Bob Bezic with a cut has switched from 13 to 31. Those guys who suffer those cuts all okay to go back on, they say. As far as Hunslet are concerned, Paul March out there at dummy half, the player coach involved heavily out there at the moment. They're talking about a big 40 minutes ahead, big tough 40 minutes, keep it going till the 80th minute, because they have faded away in one or two games this season, and they're talking about seeing this one through right to the end, Bill.
Thanks, Rod. Deep kick fielded by Miles Greenwood. Barry Bucket back up here on the gantry now after his half-time duties.
What sort of reward was that for poor old Hilda getting a kiss from you?
It's not so often I get next to a classy lady like Hilda.
She turned around and gestured as though she was going to be sick. I don't want to tell you that, mate, but...
Lovely lady.
Just stand up.
Good job she was around or in her garden anyway last Sunday, that's for sure. Here's Halliford, or is it Castlefax? It's Michaeli Izu. Danny Jones. Here's Stephen Bannister now.
Well, again, I'm sure that Matt Callan just want him to go forward instead of playing hot potato and not going anywhere.
Well, Gil Dudson goes forward, but he's then lost the ball. No, he's tried to get the ball away, I think, to Greenwood, and the ball's gone forward.
Gil Dudson, as he's done all night, going into contact, keeping the leg drive, didn't have enough grip on that ball, and he's just trying to almost flick it back with his fingertips instead of a nice quality controlled offload. But Gil Dudson's made a real impact for this Halifax side. Some big men on the sidelines, on the bench. Gil Dudson, Michaeli Izu, strong and hard. But you have to say that Hunslet, they have battled hard all the way through this game. And although they've struggled to make the meters, they've struggled to make the go forward happen for them, they've been committed in defence.
3 tackles gone. The Hawks in possession. Oakes gets to his feet to play the ball. Here's Yates. Yates, big hit on him from Barlow. And here's Neil Lowe. And that ball's been stolen.
You did go for it. You did go for it. No.
Well, they're having all kinds of problems trying to bring Neil Lowe to ground. He's bumping, he's hitting, he's spinning, and you can see there's the strip from Stephen Bannister. He's protesting his innocence, and the referee just having a word with Neil Lowe saying, don't let the ball go just because he's got his hands on it.
So the penalty, then the kick, and suddenly Halifax are on their own try line defending as Tom Hockey drives the ball in.
Just release.
Paul March goes for it, and has he got that ball down? He has, says the referee. Clint Sharrod was there to award it, and the player coach gets the first points of the second half, and Halifax caught napping there, and the Hawks fans delighted. The coach, well, he's a hard man to impress, even when he scored the try himself.
Well, there's the penalty from Halifax. It's Stephen Bannister. You can see that he strips that ball from Neil Lowe. That's the correct decision from the referee, Clint Sharrod. But good play from Paul March, but he's got to credit his brother, David March. He comes round from the open side to the blind. He pulls the players off. I think it's Danny Jones who falls for that. He doesn't join the tackle, and that's just a simple try for March.
Levels the scores. And Ratcliffe with the opportunity to put the Hawks ahead. A little contingent of Hawk supporters are heard for the first time this evening. Ratcliffe's kick just wide. Marginally wide, that one from Ratcliffe. 10 points apiece.
Well, when Halifax review the tape of this game and they look at the mistakes that they've made, they'll pinpoint that one of the worst tries to concede in rugby league is one of those barge over tries. And Matt Callan and Brian Noble, Martin Gonzalez just to the right of him, they'll have worked on that countless times. Getting your goal line defence nice and set and strong. Too soft from Halifax.
Another good strong run from Joe Helm from the restarts. Patched up, stitched up. Then Barnett, and he plays the ball. Here's Neil Lowe stretching for that one, but he just finds the gaps, doesn't he, Neil Lowe?
Well, he's good on his feet, stepped off his left foot. You can see that Gil Dudson, he commits 4 defenders, so that means that if he can get up and play it just a touch quicker than that, they'll be caught out of position.
Here's Tom Hockey now, but unable to make much progress because 3 there to meet him for Halifax. Dudson could be penalised there. And Hockey and the referee continuing after the ball had been played. A little chat between those two, and then March gets it away. David March gets it away. Now it's with Lowe again, and Lowe once more, they really are struggling to get a hold of him. It's not as though Neil Lowe, with all respect, is the fastest guy on the pitch, but he's just evasive. He's picked up a bang though on the last, and Grimshaw goes for it. Grimshaw, has he got some support? He has! 2-4 in the corner! And what a break that was from Danny Grimshaw, finished off by Dennis 2-4, all stemming from that run from Neil Lowe. And it gets better for this Hunslet side, and Dennis 2-4, there is Neil Lowe down on his knees after that run, but there is the try scorer, Dennis 2-4, on loan here. The Londoner who's making a career in rugby league, finishing off that move.
Well, Neil Lowe, he's come on, he's been sent on, and he is causing Halifax an awful lot of problems. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, it's Michael Ezu who comes in, who has to finish him off. But they've looked dangerous all night on this left edge, and Danny Grimshaw, he's having an absolute field day. Look at the vision, he doesn't panic at all. He just waits for 2-4 just to keep his shape, and it's just the ball over the top, the ball in 2 hands, he takes him on. Dylan Nash falls for it, Ben Black, he's just clutching at the jersey, and that's a good try from this Hunslet side. And look at the excitement on the fans. That's what they've travelled here for.
Another conversion miss from Ratcliffe, but unbelievably, Hunslet Hawks are ahead by 14 points to 10 here. Since 1996 and the start of summer rugby, these sides have only met 4 times, and Halifax have won 3 of those 4. But at the moment, Hunslet are ahead here.
And unfortunately, Bill, again, it was another defensive error. Dylan Nash sliding out to the next man. Call it my man defence, going for the play you think's going to get it, not the one that's got it. Oof. Good shot! Michael Ezu puts a bell ringer in.
And in fact, the referee has stopped play.
Whoa, I know. Yeah, I know, just want to tell you, just hold the line, hold it.
Now then, he's calling Michael Ezu out, he's calling Bob Bezic out, who's the Halifax captain. Well,
there's nothing wrong with that, Bill.
Joe Helm loses his footing, doesn't he? You can see that his left foot goes underneath him.
Well, the referee's saying contact's been made with the head, but Joe Helm, while stumbling, hits the shoulder of Michael Ezu. He doesn't reach an arm out, there's no forearm. The only intent is to hit him hard. It's not a malicious tackle.
We're going down, it's just here, okay?
And Paul March just having his 2 pennyworth there. Michael Ezu may be a little hard done by, but you could say it was reckless because you don't know what the consequences could be.
No, if he's set for that tackle, which he was, he's come flying out the line. You can see Helm, he goes down, he's going to ground, and it looks bad. But what can Michael Ezu do there? Well, he can't get out the way.
What can Joe Helm do the next time he has the ball?
Well, he can take it in again. He's showing real eagerness. And Halifax buzzing around, stung by the Hawks taking the lead here.
Helm has been one of the standouts in this game for Hunslet. He just puts his hand up time and time again, even when he knows he's going to get a good hiding. He's still there taking that ball forward.
That's the fifth tackle. Frustration maybe, I think, growing in the Halifax ranks. Paul March's kick.
Well, they're quite happy, Bill. Just put the ball out of play, get the defence sorted. They're backing themselves in defence. They've come from one end of the park down to the other end of the park. That man, Matt Callan, he will not be happy with the start in this second half from his side.
Well, Hunslet want to slow the game down. They want to know, or sorry, they want to keep Halifax as controlled as they can. And Paul March takes his place in the front row.
Here's Greenwood. Grimshaw gets a hold of him, and support coming in to stop his progress.
Do you know what Hunslet can't stop doing? They can't stop playing. Because if you stop playing and you just want to defend against the Halifax side, you will concede some points. So you've got to keep playing the same attitude what's got you into this lead.
Real sting in these Hunslet tackles. They're looking to make an impact now. They've got their noses in front. Cherry Home is back on. The cut stitch, the strapping on his forehead. And the kick, Bezic has gone for a 40-20.
Well, that was good signs, that, from Hunslet. Every time on one of those four plays that they got the ball, Halifax, they were flying out of the line, but they were coming out in numbers. They weren't trying to solve problems on their own. They were talking, they were communicating. The tight three defenders either side of the ruck, really pressurising Halifax.
Here is Hockey. Hunslet enjoying the bulk of possession at the start of this second half. They've scored the points as well. And they've got the ball away. That's good offload. Here is Clayton once more. Real thorn in the side in the first half. 4 tackles gone. Clayton once more. Clayton taking him on again. That's the 5th tackle. It's with Ratcliffe, and Ratcliffe will kick cross field. Barnett goes up for it. Who's got that one?
Warrency's got it.
Warrency, I think, just beat him to it. Did well there because Barnett was closing in on the ball.
He took it from the field of play. Secured possession, more importantly for Halifax, but it means another set of 6 for them to defend. 2 committed players jumping up for the ball. And Warrency gets it. But again, 6 tackles for Halifax to keep the Hunslet Hawks out.
Here's Adam Sullivan now. And Sullivan will run it straight back towards that Halifax line.
They're making contact. After contact, they're still making yards. Just watch this one again from Helm. Keeps pumping his legs, taking it into the heart of the defence for Halifax.
Hunslet looking to repeat last year's dramatic Northern Rail Cup win here, when a late Michael Mark try got them the victory. They're ahead here, a long way to go in this one yet. Ratcliffe is held, says the referee, just short of that Halifax try line. Here's Grimshaw. Stuart Kane now. Kane puts the brakes on and Dylan Nash makes the tackle for Halifax.
Wait here, Neil, wait, go.
Barnett. It's Grimshaw. Now here's David March. March trying to get that away one-handed. And they'll come back for the knock-on head and feed to Halifax.
Well, March has the ball in one hand, tries to get it over the Halifax defender. There it is. Just tipped it out, Lee Patterson. But I reckon 4 words will be sent down from the coaching team from Halifax. Lock up that ball.
Let you off there.
All right, guys.
I had to count my fingers first before I said it.
Hey, we haven't got time back on yet. Hold on. Just make sure we bind tight, guys.
Head and feed to Halifax, but they're struggling to get out of their own half at the moment.
Do you know, that is a good point by Barry, because if you look at the way that they are defending, they're getting 3 men in the tackle, yet Hunslet is still managing to get the ball away.
Here's Dylan Nash, one of the big game performers in this Halifax side, and somehow gets that pass out the back door. Cherry Home now. It was Nash's interception try against Lee that set the ball rolling for Halifax. White.
You could see White when he was behind that play the ball, and he was shouting at Dylan Nash to get up and play the ball as quick as he could. He wasn't happy with the speed of which he was getting up.
Cherryholm, Oakes with a good tackle on him. Paul White with the scoot. That's the 5th tackle. The Halifax fans not happy with the distance that Hunslet are getting from the play of the ball, claiming they are offside, but Wayne Price gathers that kick. It's a good chase, nowhere for Price to go.
Well, that's better play from Price, bringing that ball back, using his nice footwork to beat a few Halifax defenders. Now it's 2-4.
Now then, Halifax will be looking for the mistake here from Hunslet, trying to force the error. We'll see Halifax in action next week in the Northern Rail Cup semi-final. What a big game that'll be. Grand final rematch at the Big Fella Stadium. There is the mistake. It's 7:30, Sky Sports 4 next Thursday.
Now Adam Sullivan, he'll be disappointed with that, dropping that ball. Just 18 yards from his line. You can see he just had a little look up. He was more interested in looking what Bob Bezic was doing. He was getting off the line to put pressure on Sullivan, and he done his job, forcing the big prop forward into making that mistake.
Sorry about this, guys. It's been quite a few of them today. Yeah, I know.
Was it Joe Helm needs to change his shirt yet again?
Another one with blood.
Not a single shirt. Can you take one inside out or anything like that? Don't know, mate. Come on,
The kit people of the respective clubs are going to have their work cut out, and Helm is now wearing 31 by the look of things. It's a bit of a squeeze.
He started at 10, then he went to 33, and now he's at 31.
Right, get your heads in.
Oh, they've got a couple more jerseys.
Relax. Time back on, don't go early.
Just give Hilda a ring. If there's a jersey problem, give Hilda a ring. It's Black.
Hey! Release time. What?
Halifax trailing here by 10 points to 14.
Hey! Move forward. What?
March pushing his luck in the tackle, certainly in the view of the Halifax supporters. Now here's Cherryholm.
Stand up, 3.
Bezic. Ben Black finds Bannister. 4 tackles gone. Bannister about 8 metres out. Here's Jim Gannon heading back home at the end of this season. Gannon. Oakes comes in to complete the tackle. That's the 5th.
Watch Furbank.
It's with Danny Jones. Here is Ben Black. Black's little grubber kick and 2-4. This time opts for safety. Just bats the ball dead.
So many options available there. Lovely little deft kick into the in-goal area, and 2-4. Just had to get it off the island. But Jacob Furbank was lining up at the sticks, and Bob Bezic just chose to put it behind the player.
Danny, come on, mate. Come on.
Nice, deft little kick. As I say, watch for that play.
Well, Hunslet trying their hardest to slow this game down. Ratcliffe has just been down on his knees
All right, guys, keep the line.
in the field of play.
Come on, Paul.
And then Paul March just wanting to discuss 1 or 2 things, and then walks back the other way, and the referee tells him to get on with it, which he does eventually.
And not a bad dropout as well from underneath the sticks. There's Cherryholm bringing the ball back. Well, looking at Stuart Kane, the fullback for Hunslet, just the amount of talk and the communication that he's got with his players. He's directing them all, making sure that they're solid around the play of the ball area.
Hockey in with the tackle. Gannon there as well. And David March. Nash hit that pass from Black at some pace, but then ran straight into the defence and gets the offload away, and it ends up in the hands of Paul March.
Well, Dylan Nash, he thought that ball was stolen as 2-4 brings it away. But did he look to offload this ball?
Yes.
Yeah, he went to offload that. Can't complain about that. Paul March comes up with the ball.
Wayne Price trying to scramble his way underneath the challenge of Jim Gannon. It's Joe Helm again. Sullivan keeps a hold of this one, spins and makes a bit of progress. They're still inside their own 40. Brian Noble down on the sidelines, as he did eventually last week. And that's a good kick.
Hey, shot.
Well, the Hunslet players accusing Miles Greenwood of taking that out.
No, can't look at that, mate. Can't look at that.
Oh, The referee's already made his decision. No, he catches it outside. Not sure what Miles Greenwood was thinking there. Brian Noble again, lock that ball up. Let's be a little bit more composed in the good ball area, in the end zone of the Hunslet side.
Brian Noble's term with the Halifax club coming to an end soon. It was just a short-term agreement, but I know that Halifax will be very keen to retain his services well, for as long as they can, but he's much in demand.
Well, it's an intimidating sight for the Halifax players. Looking down, he's there chewing his gum, and he will want better from this group of players. We all know that they can attack, but defensively, they've been tested tonight.
But you've got to take your hat off to this Hunslet side. Real commitment from them.
We can't make excuses for Halifax because Hunslet have turned up here with a mindset to play.
And this is 4 days after they played Batley. They've got the penalty, though, of Halifax, the shove on Cherryholme. And it was Joe Helm who's been outstanding for this Hunslet side so far this evening, but not so there.
Well, it's Cherryholme. He's trying to get open. The interference there from Helm at the play of the ball.
And here is the former Bulls Academy Player of the Year, Neil Cherryholme, driving that one in. Bezic looking for a bit of snap at the play of the ball. Bit of urgency from this Halifax side. They're trailing here, coming up to the hour mark. Gannon, just a little hand in there from Paul March, just delaying things. Every little helps. Cherryholme once more. Bezic. Jones does well to take that one on the bounce. Here's Bannister now. Bannister fancies it himself. Again, the ball on the inside, but offside. Offside against Hunslet.
Halifax starting to catch Hunslet out. They can't get back the 10 yards. They needed to be on the try line to defend that set of 6. But now more pressure for Halifax.
Here's Gannon. Marching with the tackle. Gannon not appreciating that particular effort. Fairbank, already a try scorer this evening. Here is Ben Black, likewise. Here is Bannister. Again, good defence. It was David March that time with the tackle. They all want a piece of the action. Here's Gannon, and Helm gets a hold of him. Gannon stretching out. He's short, says the referee. How long can they keep Halifax at bay here, the Hunslet Hawks? Now then, they've got the numbers out wide. If they can get the ball there, and they can. Warranty eventually makes the pressure tell. And Hunslet stretched on both sides of the field. And no great celebration from Rob Warranty, taking his tally to the season for the season to 18 with that one. But they really are having to work for their supremacy here.
Well, too much pressure then, and it had to tell. And this is what you want. You want Ben Black taking that ball to the line. There was a number of times leading up to this that a lot of the players were standing back and they were waiting for that next play. That's when Halifax are dangerous. When all the key players get their hands on the ball and start asking questions of the opposition. First of all, Danny Jones, then Ben Black, then Dylan Nash. And a good little pass to Warranty, who goes in for the try in the corner.
Very prolific try scorer, Rob Warranty, certainly in a good run of form here. 2 tries against Lee. Now levelling the scores, and Danny Jones from wide out to put Halifax back in front with this one. Should fancy his favour his round the corner style, but he's pushed that one wide. 14 points apiece here at the Shea. Halifax against Hunslet.
Whatever happens in this game from this point onwards, you have to say that Hunslet have scrapped and fought for everything. It just becomes impossible. There's too many attackers, too many options, and Hunslet's defence for once tonight just isn't up to it. Rob Warranty, we talked at the beginning of the game about Miles Greenwood, Paul White, Rob Warranty doing that job from the back 3, getting the momentum going, but Hunslet have just snuffed that out.
Into the last quarter here, can Hunslet sustain the intensity that they've met Halifax with? That's the question.
Well, it comes down to mental toughness. And can you match the opposition?
4 days ago they were in action, they were playing Batley, a tough game.
Well, what they need to do, if they've only played 4 days ago, they need to make sure they're very disciplined, they control the ball, they get to the end of the set to 6 and try and turn the screw on this Halifax side, because when they did that earlier on in the first half, they looked outstanding.
And Ian Proctor's just reminded me that Hunslet in fact conceded 3 converted tries in the last 7 minutes against Batley, so you maybe wonder whether they can go the distance here.
Well, they were leading at half-time, weren't they? It was a fantastic performance from them. And it doesn't look a side that in the last 6 games have conceded over 300 points. The way that they've turned up here tonight and the attitude that they've got in defence has been fantastic.
Wayne Price is struggling off the ball at the moment. He's got a bang in the ribs by the look of things, but Halifax defending just inside their own half now. Ratcliffe, here's David March. Crowd appealing for obstruction, but Chris Hall didn't really get involved there. Paul March, here's Sullivan now. That's the 5th tackle. Ratcliffe, little chip kick over the top, which is probably not what he intended, or not where he intended, because it goes straight into the arms of Paul White.
Will we see that magic triangle? Greenwood, then you'd think Warrensit, then you'd think White. 10 metres, chewing those metres up, getting further up the pitch.
Here goes Warrensit, a man to capitalise on defenders maybe getting a little bit weary, maybe leaving themselves exposed, as is Paul White. 4 tackles gone. Halifax rolling forward. Warrensit once more. Foot to the floor. Looking for a quick play the ball. On the last as Black hoists this one. 2-4, he's under pressure here, but takes it well. But he took it back into his in-goal area, and that'll be another goal line dropout.
Well, good play, especially from Paul White and Rob Warrensit to get them down here. 2-4 under pressure from Dylan Nash. Well, when wingers come up with runs like that from dummy half, just simple little plays, it's up to your forwards then to take control when they're defending up the other end of the park. And now the forwards, they'll get the ball back, they'll be attacking in Hunslet's half, they'll be fresh, and they'll be up for this set of 6.
Well, Rob Warrensit on one of those charges ramped it up like a front row forward.
And there is a front row forwards. Neil Cherryholm got that horrible gash early on, but strapped up, back out there. Jacob Fairbank, good strong run from the loose forward. Black, again they're looking on that Hunslet left-hand side for an opportunity, but this time the Hawks defence is watchful. Greenwood tackled. Black, Gannon. Again driving it into the heart of the Hunslet defence. Sullivan could have been penalised there perhaps. Bezic, short ball from Bezic finds Cherryholm, but that's more good defence. Hockey with the tackle. Crucial tackle that was. On the last, little ricochet. Who's going to get there first? It was Ratcliffe. Cherryholm was chasing it. Paul Smith was there as well. Another goal line dropout. The Halifax supporters lift.
Well, that was a super kick from Bob Bezic. He shapes to pass, kicks it on the outside of his foot. All the chasers are onside, because he's from dummy half, he's making that kick. Just building the pressure, Halifax now. Halifax will score in the next set of 6.
Again, not in any hurry, Bill.
Paul March taking his time with the restart. The 4th goal line dropout that Halifax have conceded. Gannon rumbling back towards the Hunslet lines.
Back here. Get the hands out, don't walk forward.
Here is Jacob Fairbank.
He's had another good game, Jacob Fairbank. He's run strong, 19 tackles in defence.
Danny Jones holding it up. Greenwood joining in. 3 tackles gone. Stuart Kane just trying to slow things down as much as legally possible. Here is Fairbank once more. They're hammering away at this Hunslet defence. The March twins right in the middle of it there, underneath their own posts. But the ball goes wide again. Then Smith comes back in field. Play on, says the referee. Hunslet suspecting there was a bit of a obstruction there. That's the 5th tackle, though. Paul Smith is just short of that Hunslet try line. Bezic, Jones now. Jones puts another kick in. Kane comes across, and Stuart Kane deals with that one. And Kane is hobbling now.
Well, kicking from the second man means that the defensive line needs to come up. Jones puts it in with his left foot. Jacob Furbank again doing the hard graft, doing the hard work. And these March brothers really testing the patience.
Chris Hall it was who came to the rescue, the man who's come back into the Hunslet side after a winter playing in rugby union for Sedgley Park and Morley. And Hunslet,
Do you know, he wants to be careful because he could give a penalty away. He's done it that many times.
Well, the referee Clint Sharrett is, I mean, this is the 5th goal line dropout, and certainly for the last 3 he's been barking at Hunslet to get a move on. Cherry home.
Neil Law's about to come back onto the pitch. Can he do what he did in the first half?
Fairbank. 2 tackles gone.
Here, mate, here. Go.
Bezic now. Here's Ben Black. Jones did well to take that ball. Slipfielder down on his toes, but he ran into the tackle from Neil Lowe. 3 tackles gone.
No way!
Greenwood running across the field. Again, they appeal for obstruction. You may have heard Clint Sharrett shout, no way.
Move, Danny! 4, wait.
4 tackles gone. Halifax going sideways on this set of 6. They're looking to come forward now with Gannon. Gannon driving it into that Hunslet defence. Another kick coming their way, surely. Or will they go for the power play this time? They're running it. Paul Smith. Smith gets the offload away. Still on the last. Cherry home away to Bezic. Bezic for Black. Black has got men outside. He's got Nash outside him. Nash back in field. Nash bowls it away. And Hunslet have it back. What defence that was from the Hawks.
Well, what about the defence from Hunslet in the last 4 or 5 minutes? All the pressure that Halifax have had, but Halifax content with throwing the ball from left to right, not playing straight, not playing direct, not asking enough questions. But look at that for defence, the commitment to work for each other.
Well, it's hard to believe this is a Hunslet side that has lost the last 6 in League and Cup, that conceded 70 points in their defeat at Sheffield a couple of weeks ago. That's the 5th tackle, though, in this set of 6, and they're struggling to get upfield. And then the kick from Ratcliffe is not a bad one. It's a great kick over the head of Greenwood. And it's got Halifax heading back towards their own try line to restart on the 20.
Well, some people say that this is a negative play, and maybe it is, but I, for one, if it's there, why don't you use it? Look at the Hunslet line now. Halifax have got to get back behind the ball. They're just sending big Michael Yezu back onto the pitch. See if he can add some damaging, make some damaging runs along with Gil Dudson.
But they've got a bit of speed at the play the ball now. The referee, I think, is going to penalise Hunslet, not standing square, and he was just waiting there. It was clever work from Bezic.
Well, this will be interesting now. 10 minutes to go. That's where the penalty was. Bob Bezic getting out from dummy half. Will they go for the 2 points? Well, they're taking the 2 points. That's the respect that they've got for Hunslet.
John Oakes couldn't help himself there, conceding the penalty into the last 10 minutes here. The scores are level.
Sorry, guys, back on the line, guys. Just back on the line. Cheers, man.
It's always tough when you're caught in 2 minds. Do you go for him, do you not? And that 2 Hunslet players left behind warranty when he gets up. And you can just say, just couldn't set himself, Oakes. Sure Bob Bezic, very, very clever player. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Danny Jones then with this conversion at this penalty attempt. Looks good. It is. It's got the legs. It's on target. And it's nudged Halifax ahead. 16-14.
We talked about the Hunslet defence, and just look at them. Here's a repeat set. Tuba takes that ball, and again they deny Halifax the try, but the willingness, as I said, to keep working for each other.
Guys, he'll let you know.
The talk that they've had in this game. The pounce on that ball when Dylan Nash tried to offload the ball to Warranty on the last tackle in the right side.
But still only the 2 points in it. Hunslet won't go away.
Move, Neil!
Here's Gil Dutson in possession for Halifax. Looking to close the gap on the top 6.
2! Move, Luke!
Stay in 7th place if they win this one.
Go.
But there will be only 2 points adrift of the playoffs should they win this one,
3.
Halifax.
Move, Andy! He's okay.
Here goes Greenwood, and Greenwood has spotted a gap. But Oakes just managed to get a hand on him, and that slowed his progress down. And Grimshaw was there to make the tackle.
No way.
Paul Smith now. Quick play the ball from Smith, and now Halifax are backtracking. Bezic, it's gone back somehow. Here's Michaeli Izu, and Michaeli Izu straightening it up. He then offloads it. Again, it's a wild pass. It's come up. It's still on the last. It's Jones. It's still gone backwards, says the referee. It's still on the last, says Clint Sharrod. Jones with the kick. Oh, and it's snaffled up by Luke Haig.
Do you know, I
panic from Halifax.
I think that Halifax are unlucky because I'm sure that one of the Hunslet players made a play for that ball just in front of the sticks.
It was a real frantic phase. Danny Jones just finally putting the kick in, but quite a few offloads. Halifax in desperation, trying to find the gaps and spaces.
David March with the run. March with the run. Has he got some support from Barnett? He's got some support from Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe for the corner, but he's got Warranty facing him. Ratcliffe will get there. Or has he? Has he got that ball down?
Does he lose this ball just as he's diving over the line, or does he regather it to score the try?
Oh, do you know, you'd have to give it him. You'd have to give it him. It technically is still on his forearm. What an amazing piece of play from Hunslet Hawks. Is there a gap and space here?
They call that separation. Ian Smith is the video ref deciding on this one.
Try.
Ratcliffe has got the try. Halifax are stunned. And it was the break from David March that helped set that one up. And Ratcliffe managed somehow to outwit the 2 Halifax covering defenders. 5th try of the season for him. And Hunslet are back in front.
Well, this is unbelievable, this second half. And just have a little look at March. He might not have the speed that he had a couple of years ago, but he looked up and he knew that he had the speed on Michaeli Izu. But what about this from Danny Ratcliffe? Danny Ratcliffe and Danny Grimshaw have been in good form this evening at Halifax. Here's March, he just sets himself, it's Bob Bezic, he plants his feet, Michaeli Izu can't get to him, and March knows he hasn't got the legs, but there's one lad who has, and that's Danny Ratcliffe. Good finish from the half-back.
It does look a different story, doesn't it, in full speed? But you have to say that that break comes about because the markers weren't square. The referee says to them, you're not square, it's going to be a penalty, and unlike the last one, they decided to stand fast.
David March, if he adds this, then Halifax have got some work to do, but he's missed with that one. David March, though, looks to the sidelines. He came into the game with a hip injury, and that, I think, is probably his final contribution, but what a contribution it was.
There you go, that's the point I was making with the markers. They couldn't get involved because they weren't square. Outstanding break from Ratcliffe. All the determination, and Rob Warranty pushes him really close. We've got a real ball game on now.
Coming up to the last 5 minutes, but Halifax have got it back from the restart. They've got the penalty. Now then, what do they do here? Do they go for the 2 points?
I wouldn't, Bill.
It was a high shot, I think.
I don't think they will. Although
they're looking for signals from the sidelines. Damien Ball, I can see down below us, is suggesting that they go for the 2, and that is what they're going to go and do.
Tommy Hockey too high, and the youngster Jacob Furbank with his lovely footwork just leaves Hockey grabbing, clutching, grasping, and he's penalised.
So Danny Jones with this penalty. He kicked one just a few moments ago to put his side ahead. This one now to bring them level again. Jones, the crowd behind the post tell you it's there. 18 points apiece, the scoreline now.
Neil, keep it cool. No need for that, no.
And will Hunslet go for the short restart with 4 minutes, under 4 minutes to go? Well, Halifax, of course, golden point experts with that grand final victory over Featherstone last year from Ben Black. They know what it's all about.
I just think they've got to go long here, because they can't invite Halifax into their own half, because they know that there's a number of players on the Halifax team who will go for that 1 point.
One! Move it, Eddie Yates, you're with me. Hold, wait, go.
Michaeli Azu, good run from him.
Release!
Looking for a quick play, the ball, but Hunslet sailing close to the wind. Dudson, the big men, driving them forward.
he's lost it.
Dudson has lost the ball. Play on, says the referee. Now it's been stopped by Ben Black. The referee says we'll go back to the knock-on.
No advantage.
Knock on here, no advantage.
No advantage.
Scrum here.
There's a knock-on from Gildudson when he takes this ball. There's the knock-on.
Yeah, we've got more
I think
than
Neil
that.
Law may have helped him on his way, but Ben Black, Neil Law's arm around that ball.
No, he's just lost that.
I
Right,
think
coming
he's helped
slowly,
that
guys.
on its
Time
way.
back on. It's out.
Well,
Here we go.
ironically, Hunslet, who were in no hurry to get the goal line dropouts going, packed that scrum ferociously quickly. Here's Dennis Chufor, and now it's Hunslet looking to get position for a drop goal.
Move, Steve. One, go.
Coming up to 2 minutes on the clock as Wayne Price tries to put the footwork on the Halifax defence. 18 points apiece here. Hunslet looking for an unlikely victory. And that's a good run from Sullivan.
Move, Bob. Back in, Michaeli.
3 tackles gone, room for one more drive. Ratcliffe, hockey now.
I don't think they're going for a drop goal, Bill.
Move, Daddy.
Neil
Low
Law.
in centre field, waiting for that ball. Haig. Grimshaw out wide to 2-4, and 2-4, it's into touch. And now Halifax's turn to pack the scrum quickly.
They'll watch this game back again and they'll regret not going for this 1 point.
Get your head in. Get your head.
They were looking for that big play. They're looking for the win. All they had to do
Sorry, I just didn't
was
see
take it straight in between the sticks, play up the centre of the park and go for the 1 point. They went for the glory play. They wanted to finish with a try. But you knew on tackle 3 they wanted to go
In slowly.
for a try, because they
Fighting,
played
time back
wide.
on.
They played wide to the right-hand side of the sticks, and then they looked for the big back play.
One. Move. Go.
So now then, still time,
Two.
if they get quickly on their way, for Halifax to get up the other end of the field and break Hunslet's hearts. 18 points apiece. 90 seconds to go here. Bezic takes them up the middle. Quick hands, Greenwood. How typical would it be of Halifax to win it with an outrageous try, and that's what they've done from Paul White. And that is what Halifax do best. Hunslet are absolutely devastated. The Fax supporters jubilant, but relieved as well. And Paul White was there to finish off a dynamic move from this Halifax side. They have struggled all evening to find a way through, but it came off for them then, just when it mattered.
Well, heartbreaking for Hunslet, but this is what Halifax do, and they do it very, very well. The speed of which they generate, they weren't looking for the big play on the edges, they were looking for the big play around the middle of the park. And Bob Bezic, he pumps that ball. Miles Greenwood keeps pumping his legs, and there was nobody going to stop Paul White. He probably deserves to go in and score that match-winning try. Both him and Rob Warranty have been in sensational form this evening.
14th try of the season for Paul White, and dejection on the faces of those Hunslet players, because what an effort they have put in here this evening when they were supposed to get the proverbial malleting tonight. But they've defied the experts, and Jones should add the extras here to seal the victory for Halifax, which will make it 3 in a row. but this one has taken some winning. Jones on target. 24 points to 18.
Nick, you go short this time. You go short.
And
Nick, you go
Halifax
short.
have done it the hard way. As the hooter sounds, jubilation mixed with relief, I think, in the crowd here, and despair for the Hunslet supporters. But Paul March, as the Halifax supporters celebrate, Paul March goes among his players to congratulate them on an effort. Jacob Fairbank, Gil Dudson, Miles Greenwood there must be happy, so happy to see off this Hunslet side.